5, 4, 2, 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, wait.
Welcome. Let me introduce to you, he is the accelerant to cavemen news. All you gotta do is light his fuse. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Pepito. And there we go. Pepito, you crush it. And you gotta let us know right off the top, how are you?
So good.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's get it going. Thank you to everybody who has showed. It's time to discuss the things that explode. This is Caveman News, episode 34, Explosions.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Explosion in Eddy County.
Explosives.
In Eddy County.
Get away from there!
Exploded in southern New Mexico. Exploded in southern New Mexico. Fire turned into an explosion. Explosion. An explosion.
Explosives. Get away from there!
Explosion in Eddy County.
Get away from there! Explosives.
Get away from there.
Explosives.
Eddy County. Explosion in Eddy County. Explosion. Explosion.
Wow. And let's hear it just one more time. Hey, wait. There we go. That's just a little extra applause just because that beat was so nice.
So good.
Pepito, we have a lot to get to tonight. I see we have somebody new in the chat. Hive Mindful says FR beat is sick as well. So it's in full agreement. I did burn myself trying to light my incense, but I'll have you know it smells fantastic in here. But let's get things started. We have a call to return. We said that we were going to call Shawn back, and I think it's time, don't you?
Definitely. It's always time. There's never not a time to not.
Absolutely. Do you think he's going to answer?
Yes.
I tried to estimate how many times we've tried to call him on this show. It's been over 10, don't you think? At least.
We're in the double digits, probably, yes.
Yeah, I would say maybe 20. I don't know. It feels like we've tried many times. And here we go again. This is the attempt to call Shawn. Let's see. Yeah, call. I hit call. Why would you? All right, here we go.
Hello?
Wow. Shawn.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. How are you?
I'm alright. Just kicking back, dude.
What's going on?
Well, like, why am I, or like the place I'm at?
Yeah.
So it's a long story, but I've been seeing this girl for like on and off for like 4 years,
Yeah.
and she just got like violent, and like I was living with her, and I didn't want to go back home, and so a friend of mine suggested this place, and what they'll do is they'll put you up in like they'll get you a room somewhere,
Yeah.
and then they pay for 28 months of living, and they get you transitioned into like a 3-bedroom apartment too, and pay
Damn.
for 2 years of but you have to be a part of like physical violence where like there was police called and stuff like that, which there was, and then she like stabbed me one time with a knife, bro, while she was drinking. So
Jeez. That's rowdy.
I got this huge scar on my leg, actually.
Golly. I had no idea.
Yeah, just like never a dull moment, like I was telling you.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely not. That's in a way, that's the Carlsbad way.
It kind of is, huh?
Absolutely. If there's one thing I know from living there and everything, I'm here with Pepito.
Yeah.
He can hear
Hey.
you, but I don't think you can hear him. He just said hello to you.
Oh, hey, Lou, what's up, dude?
He says, "What's up, dude?" Oh wait, you heard him. Okay. I don't know. This is confusing.
Yeah.
So, have you had any?
How's this working? Like, is there like, are you guys like on video chat and you're just like listening to me, or?
Well, we're live on cavemennews.com/live right now. And
Yeah.
I have just called you on my phone, and I have this little Bluetooth speaker, and I'm just holding the speaker up to the microphone. So you're coming in through the microphone, and Pepito and people can hear you, but I can hear Pepito through my headphones, so you can't hear him. We got to figure this out. I haven't figured it out, the whole calling people thing, but the sound quality is nice.
Yeah.
Have you had
That's
any?
what's up, yeah.
Have you had any?
Huh?
Last I called you, you were talking about dogs coming and roving around and messing up your gravel, like a dog gang.
Yeah. Yeah, they like travel around in the block of this part of town that I was living at, and it's actually a property that I was managing. There was like 4 duplexes and a house, and I was managing all that for one of my buddies.
Jeez.
And so part of it, and I was there for 2 years actually, and then but part of it was, you have to keep the yards clean. There can't be trash in the road. Like, it's got to be nice, or the city will come and they'll like fine you for it. So
yeah.
And yeah, so these dogs, even still on a bike, and it's right by a school. And kids will come through these blocks, and like these dogs will literally chase you and bite at you and stuff. It's kind of scary.
Jeez. That is crazy, man. Well, as you say, never a dull moment. I'm sitting here, we have the chat on, and there is a hello. I have to scroll up and see who it's from.
Yeah.
And it says, "Hi, Shawn, from producer Nico." Nico is a producer on this show. She is the producer of this show. So.
Oh, Oh, that's
the
what's up.
best.
Hey, hello, Nico.
Yeah,
I am not a producer, but hello.
yeah, you're not. But I did see somebody in the chat saying Shawn for third host. So
Ooh,
you might have to
Yeah, that would be cool.
you might have to make
he's into it.
a few more appearances. That our guest we've had on the most is Brittany Pace, 3-time guest, and it's always chaos
Oh,
when
hey.
she shows up.
And you have to pick your phone up.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Yeah, Brittany's always cool. Yeah,
Yeah, have you seen her?
that's another old school.
Have you
What's
seen
that?
her lately?
Yeah, actually, I've talked to her a couple times. Here, not too long ago, actually, probably a month or two ago. Just said
Nice.
hi. It was her and Renelta hanging out, and they just said hi to me, and then I had some other stuff happening that was going on that was pretty chaotic, and they just wanted to say hi and make sure I was doing okay.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Well, hey man, we got the show going on right now, and our topic tonight is
Mhm.
explosions. Have you had any experience with explosions in Carlsbad, or do you know any stories of explosions?
Explosions. I know of a story of the gas line pipe explosion.
Oh yeah, that one for sure.
happened.
That's
Yeah,
that rocked to the county, man. Oof.
there was this family out there camping out and by a pipeline.
Yeah.
So, well, not too close to it, honestly, because the blast radius was really high, but near enough, obviously, and it killed a lot of people and their family, and it was pretty sad. Actually, my parents were making me go to Victory Baptist Church when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and they were members of that church.
Wow.
And so I remember sitting in the congregation and, everybody talking and condolences and all that, and hugs. And then that lady ended up donating like a ton of money to the church. And the church, remember when it got that new building, that round one,
Yeah,
that round
yeah.
church? Yeah. So they ended up getting a new building and everything because of it.
Damn.
Good for victory.
Yeah.
Go victory.
Pepito says, "What a story!" I think that's what he said.
I said,
His
go for
poems.
good for victory.
Oh,
He said, what story?
Pepito said, "Go for victory." Good for victory. So.
Oh yeah, good for victory. Yep. And it was nice, Yeah.
But we have the show to do. I have one more question before we let you go. Thanks for answering. It's great to finally have you on the show. Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing we do on Caveman News is each week we have a topic. Like this week it's explosions, and we talk about explosions in general and their relevance in Carlsbad in specific. So do you have any ideas of shows or topics that you think we should cover?
Yeah, okay. So I remember congregations where people would get together in certain areas of town.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good one. Remember how people would go to Sonic and then other group of people would go to Hastings?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And those little groups in different spots. I think little chill spots and maybe another show on I don't know how it was growing up in different areas of town even.
Yeah.
And what it was like, as a kid, what you did there, and then I don't know. I'd have to think about that, Jeff, but I bet I can come up with some pretty good topics.
For sure.
That's just off the top of my head.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One question before you go. Do you remember what song would play at the very end of Hastings for the night?
Dang, that's a good question.
Little trivia.
I do not, Jeff.
It was Happy Trails. When they played that meant it was over. And we've actually
Oh,
gotten
wow.
some flack for having copywritten material on this show. And if we didn't,
Yeah.
I would end every show with Happy Trails playing. But unfortunately, we can't. Well, hey, it was good talking to you.
Yes. Good to see you guys too.
All right,
And hopefully we can talk again. And then yeah, just give me a call.
for sure.
We love
Later.
you, Shawn.
Okay.
Pepito says love you. Jeez Louise. All right.
Yeah. What a man.
Okay. Yeah, Hive Mindful says amazing perspective topics. And absolutely.
Hangs.
Yeah, hang spots. I mean, that's something we could do pretty easily. Yeah, Sonic. We would drive from one Sonic to the other Sonic. Oh my god, now that's a power hang. That is
The cruise.
hanging out at Hastings. Yeah, all of that. Very good. Let's get into the actual show. What do you say? Our topic, explosions. This is a great topic. Much to discuss.
Explosive.
And- What?
Let's do this. Explosive.
Okay. Let's do this. I am into it. Okay. All right. What does this chat say?
So
Wait. History of Sea Hill when? Gah. And somebody says, Hive Mindful in the chat says, I heard Hastings is going out of business. Didn't they go out of business like a decade ago? I don't know. I thought they were. I thought it was. I've already been mourning Hastings in my life. Oh, there we go. Soy trees in the chat. What? And our sound alert is stuttering. I thought we had it all figured out. Ay.
Ugh.
This is just
Those damn cat eats.
full of problems, but we're not going to let that distract us because we have explosions to talk about. And here is our first one. This is, let me double check. This is 1889. When I started looking for, I went to the source, Current Argus, the number one source. Well, they were the number one source. Now we are the number one source for news in Carlsbad, New Mexico, but they were our forefathers and they laid the groundwork. And I was searching for explosions in the Current Argus, and I went back to the earliest mentions, and I saw this from 1889. And it says 24 blasts on the canal went off so close together the other day that they sounded like the explosions of a bunch of giant firecrackers on a Chinese New Year. By the way, the Chinese New Year is about here, and we would like to know if Dr. Ah Sing and his fellow countrymen are going to celebrate it in a becoming manner. That's weird. Like, that's
What business is that of yours? Whether
exactly. And like, why do you assume that Ah Sing and his fellow countrymen are all together? I don't know. That seemed very uneasily racist to me. But I was interested in Ah Sing, and not just because that is a great name. I love the name Ah Sing. But I also found this when I started looking for more about Ah Sing. This is from 1890,
a China.
and it says the new laundry building on,
Every
what is that, Canal? It's
Cannon.
cut off on my thing. Oh, Cannon Street belongs to Ah Sing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just quoting, but they call him a Chinaman, and they say he's a Chinaman whom every American likes. So,
And that's
I mean,
all right.
I guess it's racist but complimentary at the same time. So,
As long as the
I don't know. I found one other. I was really interested in Ah Sing. I was like, who is this? This,
You had to put up
man from
so much.
China living in Carlsbad, Mexico in the late 1800s. Like, what was his life like? And the next entry I found on him was him being arrested for selling opium. I was like, oh, that's kind of sad. I don't know. But props to Ah Sing. He was an entrepreneur of the good kind, it seems like.
Yeah,
And yeah,
and you rolled.
Soy Trees in the chat says Ah Sing was a down ass fool, and I agree completely and totally. And let me see here. Sorry, I just want to do this. The next bit I have was about. So, of course, Carlsbad has a great history of explosions, but there's also quite a bit of what I found, which are bomb threats. That's kind of like the precursor to an explosion, you know?
Yeah.
So, let's see. It says suspects arraigned on bomb threat. What year is this? This is 1997. Can you read that?
Yeah, the whole thing you want me to read? Suspects arraigned on bomb threat. Carlsbad. 2 Carlsbad men have been arrested and arraigned in magistrate court in connection with an April 13th bomb threat made to the Food Jet grocery store at 3102 National Parks Highway.
That's crazy to me. Why you would call in a bomb threat to Food Jet of all places? And for those who are not familiar, because well, we are the premier news source out of Carlsbad, New Mexico. There are people who pay attention to this show that are not from Carlsbad, New Mexico. We have wide appeal. I have the access to look at the analytics on cavemennews.com, and we've gotten like I think 3 hits from Mongolia, and so there's a worldwide audience to this type of stuff. So for those that don't know, how would you describe Food Jet other than grocery store?
A great place. I loved it. It used to be a cool place to skateboard.
Yeah. And that's why I think it's just sad that somebody would call in a bomb threat to them, because Food Jet is a great place. And I wanted to kind of show people what Food Jet is like. And in my research, I did find one video from Food Jet.
Yes.
And would you like to see my Food Jet video?
Hell yeah.
Okay, here we go.
We just got kicked out. Okay, I want to watch it.
So, there you go.
What? They got kicked out.
What do you mean, what?
They were dancing? Were they dancing inside the Food Jet?
Yes.
That's definitely not allowed inside Food Jet.
And they got kicked out. That
Of
was
course.
that was very scary.
Those floors
Oh,
are
they
so
got-
clean. You can't go skidding around.
The clerk was just like, "You're gonna have to do that outside." And then they just
Yeah.
run outside. We just got kicked out. Oh my god. I mean, you were never that bad of a kid, were you?
No. I was perfect.
No.
Back
Yeah.
in those days. Henry
Honor roll
too.
student. I mean, back in my day, we were more respectful than that, than to go dancing in the Food Jet. I really liked that video, and that was 2011. and I looked at what other videos that account has posted, and they also have a video of them dancing in Papa Murphy's, which is very similar to the food jet dancing video.
Isn't that the
And
same block?
yeah, it's like right next door. I think it's that same building.
Yeah. It used to
Yeah,
be.
same shopping center. But I'm definitely gonna have to investigate more to see what crazy hijinks those kids got into.
Those damn dancing kids. Not a
Absolutely. And another bomb threat. See, we're kind of building up to actual explosions. And another threat of a bomb came into a place called the Connection.
Oh.
And I forgot to get the producer or the mystery producer, either of them, to read out these beforehand. So we're kind of reading them live, which is very old school, like the early days of Cavemen News before we got the technology to have the stories read out for us. But do you want to read that for
Okay.
us?
Call center target of threats, police say. Carlsbad, the connection. One of Carlsbad's call centers has been repeatedly targeted with bomb threats, police say. Most recently, a bomb threat was made to the connection at around 4:20 p.m. Tuesday. Once again, Carlsbad Police Chief Jim Koch said a female caller made a bomb threat to the business. The building was evacuated and checked by authorities. It was the third bomb threat to the call center since last week, police said. So there's multiple, and at 4:20, and it was a
3 in
female.
a week, and some female called at 4:20. And I wasn't gonna say anything, but I see here in the chat, Soy Teresa says, I also worked at the Connection before I was a producer.
She's worked everywhere.
Yeah, and also, yeah, this is right after September 11th, as was pointed out. And so I don't want to make any accusations, but I will say that it was a female calling in at 4:20 with the third bomb threat of the week. And Soy Teresa did work there. So I'm just putting it out there. I maybe I've said too much.
One of Carlsbad's call centers. Was there other ones?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't remember the other ones, but yeah, as is pointed out, this is right after September 11th, and one of the things I cut out was the next paragraph in this news story. They said that they don't think that it's terrorism related. So
I think just people wanting to not work.
man, can you imagine if Osama got the Carlsbad call center?
You'd have to SEAL Team
First,
610.
World Trade Centers, then the Pentagon, then he's coming for that call center.
Connection.
Connection next on the list. What the hell? Oh, okay, there we go. And next we have, do you have a favorite explosive or explosion story from Carlsbad?
Yeah. Well,
Which one? Because I have one, and we've discussed it on the show already. Before.
Well, I was in James Dingler's bedroom with 5 other people, and one
Okay,
of
hang on. Let's go to your close-up. Oh! You know what? Actually, we're going to come back to that story, okay?
All right.
Because I completely forgot your segment.
How dare you?
Jeez Louise.
I just
what
thought
am
you
I
were
doing here?
I thought you had it planned for later.
No, it should have been earlier, and I absolutely forgot. Well, Soy Chorizo in the chat says, "How dare you interrupt Pepito?" And the only reason I'm interrupting Pepito
It's
here
for
is
Pepito.
because I want to throw to Pepito's segment. So
We're gonna interrupt
it's
Pepito for more Pepito.
yes, absolutely. I love this segment. I want to see it on the big screen.
Oh shit.
Let's go to Pepito's segment.
So Roswell. Rose. This is Pepito. I don't have time for this. Hello. This is Pepito, live for Cavemen News. And for this week's segment, I'm going to blow up a t-shirt. Fashion.
Yeah.
Quite the supplies for this job. Red Super Balls, Uptown Funk, Maximum
wow.
Load M70 crackers, t-shirt.
Oh wow.
The natural destruction, the forced chaos, the uncertainty of the fabric, the smoke,
Oh.
and the holes play with the red next to the rusted piece of metal. This is antiquity at its finest, urban decay, exposing the raw elements of nature the way it was intended to be used. Hot couture, baby! Caveman News isn't just a brand, it's a lifestyle.
Ooh. Big sip in the segment. Second big sip in the segment. Oh, wow.
What do you think of my new shirt? Pretty dope, huh? You'd wear it. You're like, oh, I want one, but I don't have your size. I'll have to come back. And don't try this at home.
Good thing you said that. You're a very influential person, and I would hate to see the youth of Carlsbad try to copy and keep up with Pepito. Pepito. Switcheries in the chat says she was going to try to keep up with you. And let's see this close up. What a success. That is otherworldly.
Explosion.
So good. I love it.
Fashion.
Yes, for sure. I liked your catwalk. That was
Oh,
very
yeah.
nice.
I learned all those moves from the best.
Uh-oh, here we go. Hold that thought. We have a applause break from the chat.
It's to be expected.
And Sean Chovia is in the chat.
Wow.
He says, "Oi." And gives the two fingers. But okay. Back on track. You were about to tell us about an explosion with James Dingler and 5 other people. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. I was at his house and there was like 5 other people and we had artillery shells and someone jokingly was acting like they were going to light it, but they accidentally did light it and they threw it at the corner of the bedroom and we didn't have nowhere else to go. So a big ass artillery shell just right in his bedroom. It was all fuck. I was deaf in one ear for like months. Or I had tinnitus too. Like I had tinnitus for like a year.
I've
There'd be
never
like
heard that.
There'd be random wobbling in my ear occasionally. Like,
Golly. I'm glad it didn't affect your beat making, and I mean, you would go on to have quite the career as a bass player in Edgar and the Sabertooth Cavity.
A stint.
Well, I mean, you were the first. You're the original bass player. So
Thank you.
So there you
No,
go.
I wasn't. There was a first. I forgot about that
wait.
guy.
No, you were before
Yes.
him. No,
No.
the first tooth show was the one in front of the motel, and the people were behind us. It was at the war protest in that
Yeah,
park,
yeah.
and you
Yeah,
played that. He didn't. You did. You were
but
the first.
but there was another one before.
Yeah, after you.
Before.
No,
Yeah.
you were. It was you, and then, dude, I was there. I was in. Okay, come on, trust me. You were the first. You played the first show, and then we went to that weird guy who was. It
Oh
was really
yeah.
strange.
Oh yeah, because
Okay,
I didn't live there. I never seen it.
okay. Sean Chovia in the chat says, "Tell him about the rat, lol." Pepito is frozen.
No.
Okay, you're back. What's this rat? Pepito?
What rat?
I don't know. I assumed you had an idea. It's whatever. Okay. Well, I can't believe I never knew that story of the explosion at Dingler's house. But my favorite story of
James had a rat. James Dingler, I guess. I didn't know that. I never hung out there much. I think that was like the one time I've ever been there, other than when I was a little kid.
says James rat he had. So asked and answered. Okay. My favorite story of an explosion in Carlsbad is the world famous, you know it, you love it, the Bat Bombs project. And we've fully gotten into the Bat Bombs on a previous episode, I think the fire episode. But I mean, we can't talk about explosions without talking about the time that the U.S. military decided to attach fire bombs to bats so that they could drop them over Japan, and the bats would find crevices to hibernate or sleep in, whatever, and then they would blow up at a certain time and catch all these buildings in Japan on fire. And they decided, where are we going to get a ton of bats? Carlsbad, New Mexico is the place to do it. So they used Carlsbad as the place to test out their theory of, is it plausible to have bat bombs? And they ended up burning down the Carlsbad airstrip. And there's a photo there of it on fire. And this article is from 2014, but the actual bat bomb fire incident took place in 1948, but it was not reported on because it was like a war secret and everything and all of that. So there you go. There's a shout out to the bat bombs. What were you said?
Swept under the rug.
Yeah, for sure. Don't want everybody knowing our secrets. Okay, I have one more thing. We have to get into it. The second best explosion ever in Carlsbad, Project Gnome. And let's see. Conceptual design for power plant. Pictured above is a diagram of conceptual design of plant for generation of power by use of nuclear explosives. The heat of the explosion trapped underground may be converted to electricity by percolating a heat transfer agent through shattered rock. Okay, so yeah, that is Project Gnome. When the government decided we need to find peaceful uses for nuclear bombs, They're the hot new thing. Everybody loves them. But what's a non-wartime use for nuclear bombs? And it was decided it would be great if we could blow up nukes underground and use the steam that rises for power and also to create isotopes to study and all of these things. And of course, where do they go to test out such a wild idea? But it's got to be Carlsbad, New Mexico. And they did. They set off we watched the video on our previous episode. I think it was our holy episode. I don't quite recall, but that was Project Gnome, and they set off the nuke underground. It was closer to Loving, and there's footage of it. It's 1961. My great grandpa Elmer was out there watching as it occurred. And yeah, I don't know if Kirby was there. He might have been a bit underage. I'm not sure. But if Prairie Dog had opened for the underground nuke, oh my gosh, what a coup that would be. That'd be incredible. And they say, and you can see in the footage, when they set off the nuke underground, the ground rose 6 feet in some places. And they say it's, it's perfectly fine. And they say that it was not dangerous at all, and they just had some steam rising that you could see and everything from the ground, which, I don't know, they call it steam, but that's got to be radioactive steam, don't you think? I mean, I'm not a science man, but it's got to be. I also remember reading that they went down into the gnome detonation shaft where it happened, like decades later, and it's still setting off the Geiger counters, and there's still trace elements of radioactivity down there. And there's also melted salt that formed into stalactites. Yeah, stalactites. So, pretty crazy. Carlsbad has a huge history of explosions, and that's just scratching the surface of some of my favorite explosions in town. Pepito, are you ready to do some VJing?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right, here we go. This is Pepito's video playlist on explosions. Huh, I can hear it, but I'm not seeing it. Is everything all right there? Pepito?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did geochemist Jim Concha, who worked for both the Los Alamos National Laboratory and WIP, says the company in charge of packing the radioactive waste at Lanel had switched things up. Concha says the company switched using a clay-based absorbent in the drums to a wheat-based absorbent, which is used in some kitty litters. He says that probably reacted with the waste and could have led to a mild explosion at WIP. Officials at Lanel, the Department of Energy, and WIP did not specifically comment on the theory.
Did you know that during World War II, the U.S. developed bat bombs? These bombs had over 1,000 compartments, each holding a hibernating bat with a timed incendiary device. Dropped from a bomber at dawn, the casings would deploy parachutes mid-flight, releasing the bats to roost in eaves and attics. But when the timers went off, they would ignite fires in Japanese cities, which were mostly made of wood and paper. So, this secret project, codenamed Project X-Ray, aimed to cause widespread damage, surprisingly. Fascinating, right?
What?
Follow
That's
for
not
more quirky
surprising.
history facts.
I wasn't surprised. Were you surprised?
No. This cow.
Okay. Oh,
Might
this
have
is
been.
the underground nuclear test, what it does to cows. Which is kind of messed up. That's me sometimes when I get overheated. I fall
Aw.
down like that. Wow.
Following the death of Franklin Delano Roosevelt and the Allies beginning to have an upper hand in the Pacific, many had been debating if a full-scale invasion of the Japanese homeland should take place, which would cause even more loss of life. Under the orders of Harry S. Truman,
Yeah,
the Los
right.
Alamos laboratories had begun planning the atomic bomb test.
They act like it was
During
a
the planning,
big
Los Alamos had to figure out how the test
humanitarian
would be
thing
recorded,
to
not just to examine the test
bomb
for research purposes,
tons of
but also to inform
civilians
the
and
curious American public of the power of such a bomb.
irradiate people. Like, oh wow, actually it was the very kind thing to do. Come on.
At first glance, it appears that the camera has just survived an atomic blast with zero protection. This is what many people believe. However, this isn't the case.
Bunch of
Picture
idiots.
this scenario. This is a recreation of the effects of the Trinity bomb on the Trinity test site in 1945, put onto a map to show the radius of each stage of the blast. The small red circle being heavy blast damage and the largest circle being light blast damage. To the top right is a direction of radioactive fallout.
Okay. I'm gonna change
To
it.
avoid destruction,
Sorry.
cameras
Yeah.
would need to be
I
placed
had to
outside
fix
of the
my-
blast radius and use special zoom technology to record individual structures within the blast radius to
We're
examine
good,
the
but
after effects.
I mean, I understand
Let's
all
say that the
this.
cameras
I
were
mean, I think
positioned
we know
here, here, and
we're
here.
pretty well versed in nuclear energy and explosions of that kind. We're pretty much experts at this point. Here's something we're not. Ooh, classic video here. Got it. Why didn't we ever have explosives in your
breakdown in
base?
transmission across
Right.
America. Pete Townsend claimed he was left permanently deaf in one ear, and a flying symbol
It's
sliced
like
into
you
Moon's
and
arm.
the James Dingler incident. Wow. I wonder if we're gonna get in trouble for copyright for that one. Wow.
It's the terrifying moment a hoverboard catches fire inside a house. As
What?
the children run for their lives, the hoverboard explodes. Batteries fly in
Jeez.
all directions. So, quick thinking mom grabs oven mitts to put out the flames.
That'll do it.
Why were they
The
running
doorbell
before it
camera
even
shows
blew
their
up?
daughter making sure their dog Banjo was safely outside.
That doesn't care.
Tamalisa Minor says the
Banjo.
hoverboard was charging overnight when it started smoking.
I saw this white
Oh.
electrical smoke just billowing out, and I knew we had a problem. Sheer panic. I mean, just panic. You don't ever think that's going to happen to you.
Her husband Craig was upstairs sleeping when the fire broke out.
Fucking
He
Craig.
came down the stairs and nonchalantly went straight to the fire extinguisher, got it out. He knew where it was.
He knew
He
where.
knew how to pull the pin
Wow. He probably
and
put
put
it
the
there.
fire out.
They say
I know where
watching how
things are.
close their
That doesn't
son
mean-
Anthony came to being burned
You
was
give
the
me 5
scariest
minutes, I could
part.
probably find
Very
a
easily
fire
could have treated it
extinguisher
pretty
around
seriously,
here
so
somewhere.
it was pretty shocking.
This
Shocking.
I would like to give a warm welcome to Lois Lippman, the
That's why his hair's like
director
that.
of a film called First We Bombed New Mexico, being featured at the Palm Springs International
What?
Film Festival. And your tagline is, the
It's
story
this year.
Oppenheimer leaves out. Tell me about your movie, because it tells a story
I'm sure
that most
Oppenheimer
people
left a
don't
lot out. Did you see that
Virtually
movie?
nobody
No.
knows. Thank you, Patrick,
On a
for
plane.
having me
On someone else's
Yeah.
and having
screen.
the opportunity to talk about our film on your program. It's the story that Oppenheimer doesn't tell. It follows an extraordinary, courageous hero, a Latina woman who
Latino.
had identified. I mean, she's a cancer survivor, and her whole
I wonder
village
why.
or town in Tularosa, New Mexico, is plagued with cancer, and it has been for years, and all these other communities. And the native uranium miners in New Mexico. So this is the impact of the Trinity bomb.
And so it ties directly back to the Manhattan Project.
Yeah, it also killed a lot of
Yes,
people.
it ties directly back to the Manhattan
Civilians.
Project. The Trinity bomb was devastating. It had more radiation than Chernobyl. It had more radiation than the bombs in Japan because it was detonated from 100 feet. And the bomb was
People were dumb as
overstuffed,
hell.
and it was done in a rainstorm. So the radiation came directly down into all these communities and poisoned their land and water that they lived off of. And they have continued to get cancer for generations now.
And you can see this film.
Wow.
What the heck was that? An explosion so powerful it caused several towns to shake. Sarah and Matt Taglieri felt the blast miles away. It even caused pictures to fall off the wall.
We both ran out to
Aw,
the deck,
they're pictures.
thinking that maybe there was some type of an accident. So I immediately called 911. My hands were shaking.
So what in the world caused such a powerful
so
explosion?
what?
Can you believe a gender reveal party? The parents-to-be
I
set
can
off
believe
80
that.
pounds of tannerite, a powdery substance often
Yeah.
used at gun ranges to make targets blow up.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Look what happens when this guy shoots a fridge filled with it.
what
Tannerite has
gender
become
is the
popular
fridge?
at gender reveals. Police say the couple responsible for this blast took safety precautions,
It's a
choosing
blue
a quarry
baby.
in Kingston, New Hampshire, because it was a safe location to detonate.
is what
never
Walter White
expecting
did,
the
Soy
explosion
Chorizo.
to radiate to the surrounding towns. These neighbors say it went way too far.
I have no problem with people celebrating the happy moments like having a baby.
I do.
But their celebration literally rocked our neighborhood, our town, and in towns
It
across
rocked.
southern New Hampshire.
Talk about a baby boom.
Shut up. That was a good one, though.
Boxes at
clever.
Carlsbad Caverns labeled as explosives were found to be empty. 6 boxes were found in Ogle Cave. They were labeled blasting caps. A bomb squad rappelled 180 feet into the mouth of the cave during a snowstorm and then hiked another 45 minutes to reach the boxes.
Why can't you stand
Using
her,
an X-ray
Shancho
device,
Rhea?
they determined the boxes were empty. The FBI is investigating how they got there.
He can't stand her.
Police say he's anti-government and take down a helicopter, even an
Oh,
osprey.
stupid.
Today, Todd Bartels is facing 10 years in federal prison for pleading guilty for transporting and receiving explosive materials. Here's News 13's Chris McKee.
Kim, the case stems from a search warrant
He
police
does
did
look
on Bartels'
reasonable.
property in Reserve back in 2013. Cops knew Bartels pretty well. Catron County deputies and state police arrested him after they say he assaulted a deputy, then rammed another deputy's car during a traffic stop. Police
He
say
said
Bartels
ACAB?
refused to register his truck because he says he's anti-government. State police found plenty inside his home in Reserve, the mountain town between Gallup and Silver City. Also inside his RV hidden out in the woods. Cops found drawings and weapons. Bartels claims deputies in the area
I mean,
are out
you'd
to
find
get him
drawings
and
and
that they were
weapons in my
planting
house.
evidence against him. Not only was Bartels building tripwire bombs and IEDs, but police also found a handcrafted homemade rocket launcher. Bartels was thinking of ways to take down a helicopter, even an
Wow.
osprey. In
They
federal
can draw
court
good.
yesterday, Bartels admitted to bringing explosives and
needs-
blasting caps in
I mean,
from another state.
my
without
criticism
having
is he needs a
license or permit
haircut
to do
or
so. Bartels
a
faces
comb,
up to
something,
10 years in
but
prison and a
I mean, he could get his
$250,000 fine.
life
The government
together.
is going to try to get the money for him by seizing his land and selling it. Kim, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Now, police also found information on militia and anti-government groups and counterfeit $20 bills in Bartels' notebooks. No
Ooh,
date has been
nice.
set for his sentencing.
Okay. Are you good
What's
there? Oh,
Yeah, I'm good.
all right. Well, okay. Pepito. And you have that last video that I have prepared for us?
I do.
That I added? Okay. Well, this looks like a good time to end the show. But one thing that we have been meaning to get to was in our fireworks episode. For those of you who were watching, I used to broadcast from the garage here, and during the fireworks episode, we had planned a finale, and I was going to attach some black cats to a painting and take it outside and ignite the black cats. But this stream did go by fast. But the thing is, on that episode, the fireworks episode, while we were getting to the point where I would take the painting outside and set off the black cats, I happened to get overheated and I almost passed out and I became weak and had to kneel down for a minute, and then I kind of gathered myself together and tried to make do with the big finale that we had planned, but I got confused and I was lightheaded and the black cats fell off the painting and I hadn't planned ahead and had good lighting and everything, so you couldn't see much when I got outside, and it was just a complete disaster. Do you remember this, Pepito?
Yes.
I remember it very well.
Really looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, well, that was one reason I thought explosives would be a great idea for this week's episode, because I could finally ignite black cats on a painting and into the show with that. And I am ready for that. So while we prepare, I have a video for us to watch while I get everything in motion.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hang on, let's see. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. So we have a video queued up to play while I prepare for the grand finale to this episode, the long-awaited explosion of a painting. But I just realized before we end that, we might as well close out the show properly. Pepito, I told you that I had another idea for what the topic should be next week.
Yeah.
It was originally we were planning to talk about hostages, but now, after that food jet video that I found, I think next week the topic should be dancing. What do you say?
Let's dance.
Yeah.
Let's boogie.
Let's find more. We can watch the Papa Murphy's dancing video.
What is it? Let's hustle.
Yes, let's hustle as the vaunted Detroit. God, I can't talk too good. But as the Detroiters said, let's hustle. Pepito, let's watch that last video. This is an old video of a band called Sabertooth Cavity. Yeah, thank you, Pepito, for playing the music. The black cats fell off, so I'm gonna head back out there. But yeah, keep playing some music. Give us some exploding music.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Explosion in Eddy County. Explosion in Eddy County. Explosion in Eddy County. Explosion in Eddy. 5, 4, 5, 6, 6, 5, Explosion in Eddy County. Explosion in Eddy County. Explosion in Eddy County. Explosion in Eddy. Eddy County. Explosion in Eddy.